guys, welcome back. We're taking a look at the Taran Tactical Combat Master, brought to you by JW3 Precision.
It's all about humanity.
Now this is a superb sidearm for the money. Having hands-on with the Armour Works variant compared to this, there are pros and cons to both, but in terms of just outright performance and bang for your buck, this is hands down the winner. The trigger is just on point. It's so much better than the Armour Works. It's more accurate, and just the overall shooting experience is a lot better. But the Armour Works does trump it maybe a little bit in terms of how they make the guns overall, but to be honest, does it warrant the extra, almost the extra £100 retail? No, 100% it doesn't. So if you're picking one, I'd much rather go for this over the Armour Works model. If you've bought this from us or from another retailer and you're taking this out of the box, I'm just going to go through a few little bits and pieces to get this set up and performing a little bit better. Well, say a little bit better, you know, better than it is already. So, but you know, to strip this thing down, just take the magazine out, line up the notches just like on any 1911 or high caliber model. Allows you to take the slide off. The spring guide is actually a two-part system, so it's similar to what they do on the 1911 series, so you can actually unthread it. Now these out the box tend to be, I think they might be thread locked or something because it's a little bit stiffer, which is good. So there's a couple of ways you can take this apart. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a little cup section that sits in the slide, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to do whilst filming, but I just want to pull that all the way to the top, and then we should be able to edge out the spring guide. So you'll see there's a two-part design here which they use on other pistols that they do. This one's actually quite tight, which I like, which means it's not going to come loose. Bit of finger gymnastics, it comes out. Just make sure you're not on the receiving end of that spring guide as it shoots out, so the rest will just push out the front like so. It's a non-reciprocating barrel, so it doesn't move in any way, so you'll find this is all quite tight together. And then what you want to do is just rotate it and slide the hop unit out. So, got the hop unit out. Obviously this will look very similar to a lot of the hop units, maybe a tiny little bit different. I'm going to take a small Phillips screwdriver. Just going to remove these screws, and you don't have to do any of this. You can just run the pistols as they are out the box. But a couple of you have asked over Facebook, just, you know, can I do a little tutorial like I do on the Strikers, just the little ins and outs of this thing. So you take the top cover off the hop unit, you've got the little metal arm here, you've got the wheel, you've got the barrel and hot rubber. They're covered in a bit of oil, so what you want to do is, if you haven't got the certain things that I'm going to talk about to hand, what you can do is just literally take this apart, wash everything out with like Fairy Liquid or dish soap to those out that are watching in America. But all I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bit of kitchen roll or paper towel to the Americans that might be watching. Got some isopropyl alcohol or isopropanol or whatever you want to call it. Just spraying a bit on this. I'm just going to clean it all off. This isopropyl alcohol is absolutely superb. It's what we use when doing all the barrel lapping and other bits and pieces like that. So just see if we can get this hot wheel off. You're going to come off. Okay. And you just want to clean all the grease and stuff out of here and oil that they've obviously put in at the factory. If you are using isopropanol or isopropyl alcohol, you might find that it pulls a tiny bit of the dirt, the paint and stuff off, so not to worry. Now if you're going to use the hot rubber that's provided, it is sort of like a more, let's see if I can get this on camera, let's zoom you in. So it is more of a conventional style hot rubber, as you'll see there. So you can use this, there's nothing wrong with it, you just obviously clean it off, like I say, wash it out with like Fairy Liquid or dish soap or anything like that, and then just give it a really good rinse to get all that off, and then just let it air dry, which is easier said than done in the current weather that I've got here, 'cause it's torrential downpour. But just any sort of warm temperature room, just blow it out with a bit of air or something like that if you can, and just let it air dry. I'm obviously going to, in this one, I'm just trialing a few bits and pieces, seeing what we can do. I've actually got a PDI hold hot rubber here, which I'm going to shove on here to see if it improves. The barrel actually looks like very good quality. You know, the barrel, the gun hosts good results anyway, but I'm actually going to lap this barrel. So in the interest of time, obviously you're not going to want to watch this. I'm going to lap this probably about 5,000 times, I think. So it's obviously going to take a few days probably to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the barrel lapped. And just I'm going to leave it all open now because everything's apart. I'm going to get the barrel lapped just to try and improve a bit of performance. If you do want barrel lapping services or anything like that, you can hit up Jaeger Precision on Facebook. It's where I do all those good bits and pieces as well as custom barrels and stuff. So I'll do that, and then we'll be back on camera perhaps in a couple of days or so, and we'll get this back together, and then we can start seeing what the performance is like and bits and pieces like that. So stay tuned. So for you guys, it's been like a millisecond while the camera sort of panned through. It's actually a couple of days later. Since then I think we've released the video of the SAI 17s. So you might recall what the barrel looked like. If you can't quite remember, I'll put a picture up even though it was literally just. And this is the barrel now. So this has been lapped about 5,000 times, give or take a few. Let me see through here. It's been polished on the exterior just for an aesthetic thing, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. I think we've actually got a bit of compound still in there, so let me just clean that out. It's quite a lengthy process to do, which is why obviously doing it comes at a bit of a premium price. I actually do this as a service over on the Jaeger Precision page. Starts at 5,000 passes. This is if you order it with a barrel as well, for about 110, and then it goes all the way up to £300 for a 100,000 pass barrel. You'll see there. Just a bit of remnant dirt from the polishing. I've literally not long finished this. So you'll see the polish on there, and if you don't know what lapping is, basically what you do is you take this little piece on the end of a rod. It's got a load of plates on it. The plates sit against the inside of the barrel. You can't polish an airsoft in a barrel in a rotary motion because you might get inconsistent polishing down the barrel. You might do it more here than at the start or at the finish. So lapping is the only consistent way to polish the inner bore of these barrels. So the plate sits on here with like a diamond abrasive paste. Start at 40 microns, goes all the way down to 0.5 microns. Yep, that's right. And then you're basically pushing the plates forward, backwards, and then what it's doing is it's making sure that polishing compound is pushed uniformly up and down the barrel. And then obviously before you do that, you just run a crown enhancer on the end just to see it. But I'm hoping this comes through on camera. You'll see the polish on that. And this is the barrel that came with it. If you don't want to do that and you want to run, say, like an upgraded inner barrel in this thing, you want to put like a Lalax, Promi, 9-ball, PDI, all that good stuff, you can do, but I'm literally just, it was giving good results at the start, so why not just enhance it? So it's been lapped 5,000 times. If you just switching the barrel out, of course, forget everything that I've just said, and just replace it. I've got another hot rubber here, fits on so nicely. I'm just going to pop this in the gun. Wheel goes on. There we are. And what I like about this hop unit is the wheel doesn't move. It's not like overly loose, so it does hold its adjustment. Pop this on here, and I'm literally just fitting a PDI W hold because I have a couple of them spare, and I want to see what it's like. So I've actually got a couple of TNT bookings lying around too, so I could probably try them and see what gives us the best results. So that's now together. Let's pop the screws in. For those of you out there that frequent the Amoeba Striker Facebook page, you'll know that I do like the PDIW holds. I've run them for a while. They don't last as long as other brands, but you can get them in 70s now. But for pistols and such, it's perfect. And what it actually does is it gives you 2 points of contact on the BB rather than one, as you'll see there. So we'll see how this does. We're obviously going to want to test this. It is ridiculously hot here at the moment. We've had a lot of rain, as well as it's like been on off like a tap today, so it's actually really late. So if I shoot this, you're not going to get the best results. So we're going to have to time lapse the camera forward a little bit. But if you want to do your other upgrades, like I say, this covers the barrel and the hop unit. If you want to strip it down and put something new in, or you want to upgrade, or you just want to like replace hot rubber or polish your barrel, if you've got the method to do so. Just going to pop that back in the outer barrel, slide it back into the pistol. In fact, before we do that, let's go through and show you the rest of the pistol. So we actually need an Allen key, I think. 2.5mm Allen key in the back. I'm sure they've used good lube at the factory, at least you'd like to think so. But for the sake of while it's apart, let's have it out. Is this going to come? There we go. Because what we can do then is move this forward so you can see it. I'm just going to spray the alcohol in. You can see a lot of little fragments have fell out already anyway. So that drain out. I'm just going to wipe it up and you'll see the crap that comes out of here. And you know, they're mass producing these pistols in a factory. I understand they're going to have to, as a company rule, you're going to try and get as many done and finished with your workforce while they're there. So I'm not putting the company down at all. And the great thing about using isopropanol or isopropyl alcohol, once you've done and cleaned and sprayed, it just evaporates. I would avoid using anything like acetone or brake cleaner or anything like that, because you really don't want to be stripping the paint off this thing. But it's going to be difficult to see. Oh, there you go, nice and dry. I've literally just wiped it down. The rest of it will evaporate in just a short while. Playback unit, let's take that out. But, they've done a good job on this pistol. I tend to favour using like microfiber cloths for this stuff like this, because with the little bits you see on like something like this, it's a lot easier to pull the dirt off. So I actually have like a couple of microfibers that I use, one for like dirty jobs and other stuff for like just wiping off surfaces and stuff. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just using kitchen roll, because let's face it, most people have kitchen roll in their kitchen. Pull this out here. Actually quite clean. It's like thick, like transport grease. I've actually done a nice job on this blow back unit. It's actually quite good. And it does look Marui compatible, but without one to hand. They do say they're Marui compatible, but obviously we'll see. And then all I'm going to do quickly is just make sure everything's tight, which it is. And then you're going to want to grab your high quality lube. So you guys know I use my own stuff. Jaeger Precision Mech Oil, 100% pure. I've been using this stuff for over 18 months in testing, and I finally just allowed it. I don't mass produce this stuff, guys. I actually work with a firm. Obviously I can't make this stuff, you know. I actually work with a big firm looking for the right mix up, right viscosity, right weight and stuff like that, and this is the best one that I've tested and come up with. So we're gonna take a bit of the mech oil, we're just going to put it on the piston. What I like about this is it isn't like some of the stuff sometimes you can get and it's really thin, and it just dissipates and you end up having to spray it quite often. Spin that round, distribute the oil, place the blowback, the nozzle in the blowback unit. On the nozzle. Just want to distribute that oil, make sure it's not going to snag up or anything like that. So that's in there. Nice and smooth. I'm going to take the spring, pop it on the blowback unit. We're going to want to get the iron sight. I'm just going to wipe all this crud off it. I'm going to pop that back into the slide if it wants to go. Do you want to go? There we are. And then the easiest way to do this, guys, is literally just hold the blowback unit like that with the spring on top, and then just place the slide back down. One of the common things that I've seen is you put the spring on and you flip it over and go to put it in, but the spring can fall down and you're squashing the spring and needing a replacement, so I want to avoid that. I'm going to pop the screw back in. I don't think there's actually oh, there is a spring. You might need to just look at your rear sight. It is spring loaded, but it sort of sticks under its own tension, so it doesn't actually push the iron sight up, so you might just want to free that up. Me personally, 9 times out of 10, well, 99% of the time, I don't use the iron sights because people are within that kind of distance that I just point the pistol in the general direction, pull the trigger, and normally I end up hitting them if the pistol's set up correctly. So all I'm going to do now, take a bit of oil, I'm going to apply it in the rails of the slide. Just don't over absorb it. You just want to let that sit. Normally I'll just sit this slide up like that and let that run down into the slide rails. I think the camera just had a bit of a glitch there, but obviously we've done all the bits like I said before. I'm just going to slide this back onto the frame now. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. Line the pin up. Give it a test. Oh, you can really see the light. As you look down the bore now, you're obviously not going to see it like this, but pointing it over across the room, the light just beams out of the barrel, shining back through, makes it super bright. So functions like it should. And for you guys it's going to be a split second, but for me it's going to be quite a few hours because it's pitch black outside now. But we're going to get to shooting this thing and then we'll be able to compare it to what it was like before. So, you will have seen there from that quick demonstration how much improvement we've got. This is the same barrel that the gun shipped with. All I've done is lapped it just to give it a more consistent finish. So you may get even better results if you were going into like sort of maybe like a Maple Leaf Crazy Jet barrel, or you know, a nice Lilacs or PDI barrel. So the fact that we're getting those results which are here on that standard barrel, now I'm firing it from a normal pose. You know, I'm not got it fixed up against anything, it's literally just me hovering. So in the hands of a professional, obviously this is going to be much better because I don't have the steadiest hands anymore, if I'm completely honest. But you can see first round dropped here, which is where I gauged where the pistol was firing to where the iron sights were, adjusted slightly because I think I was aiming about here to begin with, and it just dropped slightly to the right. But I have sort of messed about with the iron sight when I was, you know, taking the pistol apart and showing you guys the ins and outs. So I adjusted the aim to about here, and you can see non-fixed firing position, gas blowback pistol. I am supremely impressed with that. I mean, I've put a different hot rubber in there. What I'm finding with the PDI hot rubber in this thing is that the messing about with it, I'm having to apply more pressure to the hop to sort of let threes sit flat, where I didn't have to apply as much pressure with this hot rubber. So that's telling me that the hot rubber that the gun ships with isn't actually all that bad. So what I probably should have done is just lap the barrel, pop this in there and see what we get. Obviously you're probably going to get more consistent results out of this hot rubber just because of it's an upgrade part at the end of the day, how the consistency they are, how they're made. I'm slurring my words now. But this is not a bad hot rubber by any means. I was having to apply less pressure with this rubber compared to the one that's in there. What I would like to do is perhaps fit like a Maple Leaf 50 and put like an Ike on there or something to apply more pressure. You probably get even better results out of this thing, but I am superbly impressed. I mean, have I got a small target to hand? Here we go. These are the normal small targets that we use at 15 metres. This was the SAI target that we used previously, so I'm getting a group in at 15 metres that's less than this target, and this target's smaller than a head size target, so I am supremely impressed with this platform. And like I say, all we've done is we've took the gun apart, cleaned the grease out, put some high quality silicone oil in. There'll be a link in the description below where you can find this stuff, by the way. And lap the barrel. I mean, I do offer the barrel lapping as a service, so it isn't the cheapest thing, obviously, because it takes quite a while. The 100k barrels obviously take anywhere up to 4 weeks, depending on how busy I am. But this has just took this gun to an even higher level. I love how this pistol fires. I love how it feels, and if Army Armament carry on with this trend, they are onto an absolute stormer. So thanks for tuning into this video. Just wanted to show you guys the brief overview of taking the side apart, maintenance bits and tips, and switching the inner barrel and hot rubber out, because that's probably going to be the first thing that people do is swap that out for something else. I'm making words up now. Supremely impressed with this platform. This is a superb pistol for 135, and I'm going to be interested because we've just done a video on the SAI 17s, which are, you know, a budget custom line pistol. So I'd be interested in what we can do with that, with a new hot rubber in a barrel. So thanks for tuning into this video. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you're notified when new videos are put up. Thank you for the support that you guys have given me over the past couple of years. It's absolutely superb. Obviously, it's not a big channel. I do this as a bit of fun and a bit of informative thing for you guys. So thanks for sticking with me. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.